Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Get Off My Lawn podcast. The podcast that, unlike Bill Clinton, didn't get named on an Epstein client list. So there's always that. So as always, I'm your host, Darren, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dave.
Hi there.
And thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to our nonsense as we navigate through the world of hashtags, viral trends, woke jokes, avocado toast, and everything in between. And remember, if you want to get in contact with the show, we are on Instagram, Gmail, Twitter, and now Facebook for all of our 50-plus listeners at GOML Army. So Gommel Army at gmail.com and Gommel Army pretty much, like I said, everywhere else, Insta, Twitter, and Facebook. So you can yell at us there or contact us and say, hi, guys, you're doing a fantastic job. We'd like to hear that. That'd be fantastic. That'd be good. So make difference from all the hate mail. So anyway, this week it's our fourth episode. Who knew this would go on for so long? You know, it's
a real milestone.
It's a milestone. We're doing all right. This is great. 4 episodes. And there was a little bit of a break in between the third and the fourth, but that's what happens when life gets in the way. So, and we're working things out as we go, which is fine. So hopefully things will be a little bit more consistent now, but you never know. We'll see how it goes. Today's episode is our Deadpool episode or our Deathpool episode. So what we're going to do is Dave and I are both going to pick about 4 or 5 people that we think might fall off the perch this year for one reason or another. And we'll give you those reasons as well, however absurd they might be. And we'll see who comes out on top at the end of the year. This would be something I reckon we should do probably towards the end of the year or at the start of the year next time. But we're only a month in, so and no one on either of our lists has died yet. So we're still betting 1,000. So
we're just about to curse them.
So you're just about to curse them, exactly. We're going to put someone in the ground. So, well, anyway, that's the way it goes. Dave, do you want to go first or should I?
Yep. No, I'll kick off with this one.
All right, you kick off.
I'm thinking Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Oh,
74 years old. He's a rock star. He's had a massive innings, and I'm thinking he claims to have slept with 5,000 women.
Fair effort.
So I don't think that's fair on the rest of us blokes.
No, and I don't think it's fair on his todger either. There should be some blisters there. So
it's had a workout, but the tongue is what I'm thinking.
Yes.
And most of those women, I would assume, are going to be like, Gene, I need the tongue. So, but once they've had that, they're never going to go with another bloke. So once you've had Gene Simmons, you're not going backwards, are you? That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I've got some numbers that I've just quickly worked out.
Okay.
5,000 women, and the average woman sleeps with potentially 10 guys. So that's 50,000 blokes that are not going to get knocked off because Gene Simmons has had his tongue somewhere.
Now, the question is, are any of those women someone that you'd want to actually take home to mum or actually be involved with yourself?
After that? I don't know. Yeah. Well, they're not going to be interested.
No, they won't.
Because they go, "Oh, about Gene, what are you going to do? Stick out your tongue?" Nah.
Yeah, just doesn't cut the mustard.
You're not going to do it. You're not doing it for me.
You're about 4 inches too short there, buddy. So
yeah,
and we are talking about your tongue. So yes,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, so yeah, he's on my list. He's number one. I love his work, but yeah, I just feel like that's going to happen. And the way he dies, this is the interesting part. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's going to be getting it on because he's still a rock star. He's not going to, you're not going to change your deviant ways. And I believe he's probably going to be having someone sitting on his face, potentially a large woman, and he's going to go like deep with the tongue. She's going to convulse, slip forwards, impale herself on his schlong, die because she chokes on it, and at the same time asphyxiating him. So that's how he dies.
So it's death by ass cheeks.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yep. I don't think that's actually the first time that's probably ever happened either.
No, it happens all the time.
Just a normal Saturday
night. 42nd highest killer of men with massive tongues globally. Would believe it or not.
I'll take your word for it. I won't fact check that. We don't fact check here, so that's all good.
No. I need to fact check it.
Well, I reckon that's a pretty good start. Poor old Gene's going.
Yeah.
I guess there's worse ways to go.
No, definitely.
So in the scheme of things, it's it's not too bad. And look, he is 74, so he's had a fairly good innings.
He's had a good run.
And 5,000 women, like you said, he's cut the herd down to size for the rest of us. So. Yeah, fair enough. All right, fantastic. That's a strong start. That's a very strong start. So let's see how it goes. For me, my first one is someone you probably don't know. He's a bit of a D-grade celebrity. He's a guy who was a monkey boy call screener on the Howard Stern show. Do you know Howard Stern?
Yeah, he was like a shock jock in the US, yeah?
Exactly right. Yep. Definitely.
Get all the porn stars and that on his show and get them to perform acts live on radio, which is so you're just hearing noises.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy.
They rode Sibians and kissed and all that. So porn stars were kissing each other, and you had a whack pack of people, and this guy was part of that whack pack. And you probably know him from the Private Parts movie. That's the only reason I really know him, from the Private Parts movie. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but that was a movie sort of about him and his show. So
about Howard Stern.
Yeah, about Howard Stern.
Yep.
So
and this other joker was just part of his crew.
This guy was just part of his crew. So, and he went on to also fall ass backwards into a role as a failed announcer on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno for a little while. And anyway, he's got his own podcast nowadays, and pretty much what's happened is there's been a whole universe spring up around this guy because he's a lying, hypocritical drunk, to be honest. To put it nicely.
So he's just like me.
No. He's got hair. So anyway, so there's been a whole what they call a dabbleverse spring up around this guy, and he spends his days podcasting, yelling at all the people that make fun of him. So he's quite a buffoon. And
so we'll hear from him next week.
Yes, we'll hear from him next week. He'll be on the show.
Excellent.
So what happens is, as part of his shows, people like to send stuff to his house. They actually send joke stuff to his house. So they get, Postmates and Uber Eats to send beer and food and all that sort of stuff. So my thinking is, well, apart from the fact that he's overweight, he's an alcoholic, and he's not in good shape, I actually think the way he'll die this year, and the way he'll die is he'll be getting up, as he does often during one of his live streams, go to the door, insult the Uber driver as usual, get the food or the alcohol that he's been actually gifted by one of his listeners. And as he's coming back, he's going to fall over the multitude of cans that are laying all over his 500-foot square apartment, because the place, from all reports, is an absolute brothel. And he's going to hit his head on the side of the table where his computer is. He's going to knock himself unconscious. This is going to give his cats a chance to get back at him, because he's renowned for never changing his cat litter until he can smell it.
Yeah. So when else would you change it,
Yeah, exactly right. Well, there you go. The cats are going to come over into his unconscious open mouth, and they're going to crap in his mouth, and he's going to choke on cat turds.
That's it.
And cat shit. And that's the way he's going to die. And he's going to do it all on live stream.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's
cat shit asphyxiation on a live podcast.
That's it.
Perfect.
Much.
You can't make that shit up. Like that's a premonition. That's going to happen.
Oh well, I reckon
You've just given him the kiss of death.
I'm giving him the kiss. Well, it's exactly right. So we'll see how we go. I'm pretty confident in my prediction, actually. So
yeah, sounds very plausible.
That's the first couple that we've got off of our chest. And who else are we going to give the kiss of death to?
Look, this is my number 2, Greta Thunberg, whatever, that climate activist, 21-year-old young girl. She just does my fucking head in. Like,
You were quite reserved there. You called her a young girl. I thought you were going to call her something else, like you normally do.
What? She's got no qualifications, but yet she's out there making all these crazy statements about global warming and everyone's got to do their bit and not burn tires and whatever to, save the ozone layer and dolphins and stuff. But I don't know. She just fucking shits me.
Well,
but the way she dies. Yeah,
sorry, go.
I feel like the way she's going to die is saving trees. She's going to be hugging trees somewhere and there's going to be a storm, flooding. She's going to be on the top of a tree because of the floods, gets struck by lightning, kills her, and just floats away, never to be seen again. That's it. That's how she dies.
Well, you can only hope.
We just need a supervillain with a lightning gun.
Okay, one of the Bond villains.
Or not.
So this flooding, is this due to global warming or is...
No, because it's not a thing.
Exactly
it's
right.
Just,
there you go.
It's just cyclical, that's not the right word.
Cyclical? That's it.
Cyclical climate change. And there just happens to be some storms and it floods right in the tree hugger forest. And that's where she happens to be.
Fantastic.
And it's flooding because it's raining so much. There's obviously a lightning storm and then bam, takes her out.
Yeah, I reckon that's fantastic. And to be honest, I endorse that. I hope, no, I shouldn't say that actually. So,
no, I kind of feel like that's how she should go. Like I don't.
So we don't wish harm on anyone here, and this is a predictive podcast for people that we think may die this year. We're not hoping that anyone dies this year, so we'll just make that clear.
We're not hoping that they die. Oh,
well. Well, that's another podcast. We'll put that one behind a paywall.
That's something else. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I got this whole thing wrong.
And why is Dan Andrews our number one pick on that one? So,
don't get me started on
that. That's pretty cool. And luckily, Greta Thunberg was able to go from each protest in her private jet, which actually puts more. Pollution into the atmosphere than any of us probably do in a lifetime, but fair enough.
She should be walking everywhere.
You can get away with that when you're Greta Thunberg.
Without shoes.
Without shoes. Fair enough. All right, so she's gone. She's done as well.
She's gone. Boom, done.
All right, very good. Look, my number two's a little bit different sort of tact. Rob Schneider. This one
Schneider.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a
male
surprise
gigolo.
to you. Yes, exactly right.
Yep.
The man himself. I don't know if you're not on Twitter, are you?
No.
No. Okay. So Rob's pretty active on Twitter, and he likes calling out the bullshit in the world at the moment, and pretty much like along the lines of an Alex Jones and things like that. He likes to get behind all these conspiracy theories that have all of a sudden turned out to be true as well. So he's a bit of a truth seeker. So I'm actually loving Rob Schneider on Twitter. He's right up there with James Woods. I don't know if you know James Woods, the actor, and another one who is very active.
He was RoboCop, wasn't he?
No.
No, that's some other clown.
Anyway, yeah. I'll tell you about it later. So, but anyway, he's a truth seeker, and he's been calling out a lot of people and a lot of organizations lately, which is, around the vaccine and stuff like that as well too, which has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed what he's been doing. So what I'm thinking is he's bringing to light stuff that the New World Order doesn't want you to know about, or coming from his mouth is going to be something that, will bring people's attention his way and then their way, obviously. So what I think they're going to do, this is why I think Rob's going to die. I think they're going to reprise his role of Juice Bigelow, male gigolo. But because he's an older gent now, they're going to make him the pimp, and he's going to be mentoring young male gigolos.
Yep.
However, cast opposite him is his nemesis, who is a rival pimp. And the rival pimp is Alec Baldwin.
He is actually a real pimp, though, yeah?
Yeah, he's a pimp. Well, he's a good shot. So what's going to happen is they're going to set up...
Well, that's where you learn to shoot, pimp school.
Pimp School, exactly. So they're going to set up a scene in the movie where Alec Baldwin has a standoff with Rob Schneider and pretends to shoot him, but accidentally there's real bullets in the gun.
And, that old chestnut. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much like what happened just with him recently. And Rob's no more. It's an accidental shooting on set, and Rob's silenced once and for all. So that's how I think he's going to go.
Yep, that's not a bad way to go. a pimp off.
A pimp off. Yeah, so that's what I think could happen. And once again, Alec Baldwin will not face any criminal charges for shooting anybody. So all good.
Yep.
All right, mate. What do you got?
My number 3 is Mark Sargent. And for the people that don't know who he is, he's like the advocate for flat Earth society. He's just a fucking kook.
He's a flat earther.
Yep, because everyone knows the Earth is flat. That's why when you look at a map, it's flat. And the UN's map of the Earth, it's also flat, exactly the same as how they have it on their. Well, they don't really have globes. These flat Earth kooks, they've got like trays.
Trays.
And there's a ring of ice all the way around the edge, and it's mountainous, so you can't just go to the edge of the Earth and then fall off.
Yes, that's where all the Yetis are.
Yeah, I don't understand where these kooks come from and where they get these crazy crackpot ideas.
Mental instability, mental illness.
Yeah, but they used to lock all these people up in special places. Yeah, but he's got a whole heap of followers and nutters. I saw this documentary on it, and they were all arguing amongst themselves. And he's like, everyone's got to calm down. We've got to stay on the same page. Otherwise, this whole thing falls apart.
Yeah, it's funny funny how that works.
Yeah, and all their scientific research is awesome as well. Like when you've got a guy on a plane with his iPhone with like a level app, and he's holding it level, and he goes, "See, look, the Earth is flat. I'm on a plane. It's flying. It's flat."
It's highly technical. You wouldn't understand.
It's very sophisticated matricinery that they have.
Yeah. I could explain it to you, but you wouldn't understand.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Trust your app.
And I feel like he's going to die trying to prove the Earth is flat by venturing to the very edge. And we all know it's a ring of ice. Well, us people in the know about flat Earth know that it's a ring of ice around the edge of the Earth. He's standing on the top, slips, bounces down, and falls off the edge into just space and dies.
Yeah, well, honestly, that's how I always saw these flat earthers going. They're going to prove that they're correct, and they're going to kill themselves in the process of doing it.
Yep.
So
proving their point. This is the edge of the Earth. I'm just going to jump off to prove my point.
Yep. I think I'll be wrong and stay here and not die.
Yeah. So, in our
ignorance is bliss. Yes. So, all right, fine. So, Mark Sargent is
going
bye-bye. So, he's taking a dirt nap.
He's going to fall to his death.
Fall to his death. He's going to float. He's going to float to his death. He's going to float into space into his death. All right.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder how that even works. If you're at the edge of the Earth and it is flat, do you just step into space? But then you'd just be hanging there.
I'll give you the tip. It doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that? Yeah. So it's not fucking real.
No, don't think too hard about it. So,
it's not a real thing. Fucking idiots.
How many cans you had? You're starting to try and work.
I'm trying to keep an open mind.
Fair enough. All right. So that's your third one. My third one is another one I think you might be surprised at. But you know what? I reckon I'm on a winner. Britney Spears.
Britney. Oh, she's one of my faves. Fucking nutbag. Yep.
She's your
got her shit together, though, I think, hasn't she?
Well, maybe. I don't know. The last thing I saw of Britney was on Instagram or YouTube of her dancing with scissors or something in her hand in a bikini. So I don't know. She does these weird live stream little YouTube shorts or Instagram reels, and they're getting nuttier as she goes along. Yeah. So what I think is there's going to be an evolution of Britney's videos. So she goes from just dancing to dancing with scissors to, in the end, she's dancing around in a bikini, juggling a bowling ball,
Yep.
a bowling pin,
Yep.
and a chainsaw.
That's a difficult combination to juggle.
It's a difficult one, especially for a petite young woman like Britney Spears.
Yeah.
I think she takes a wrong step.
Yep.
The chainsaw comes down, pretty much like John Melendez, cuts her hand off. She thinks she's actually catching the bowling pin, and she actually catches the chainsaw,
Grabs
lops
the
her
wrong
hand
end of
off.
the chainsaw. Yep.
Yep, wrong end of the chainsaw, lops her hand off, falls down, slips on the blood that's gone everywhere, smacks her head on the bowling ball, bleeds out on live stream once again. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's a terrible way to die. Chainsaw.
Pretty sad way to die. But
knocking your head against the bowling ball. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the chainsaw didn't help either. So
no.
But
well, that's right. I mean, when I was juggling chainsaws, I would make sure that I had a bicycle chain on them instead of a chainsaw chain, so if you did actually accidentally grab the wrong end, wouldn't cut your fingers off.
No, it'd give you a nasty burn, nasty rash. Yeah. So unfortunately, that's the evolution of young Britney's mental state that I think might end in her demise. So that's my third one. It's not funny. It's pretty tragic, especially.
Well, it's kind of funny.
Well, it's funny to watch her just de-evolve on live stream.
A juggling nut.
Yes.
On TikTok.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. She's probably doing it on TikTok rather than Instagram. So she gets more views that way. So
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. So that's my third. Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, she's gone. All right. My number 4 is Jim Carrey.
Oh,
actor
Jimbo
from The Mask. Yep. Funny man. But I believe he's going to just disappear, but he's going to be knocked off because he's blown the lid off the Hollywood elite and the Illuminati.
Oh, a bit like the old Rob Schneider stuff.
Sort of, yeah. He's been banging on about their secrets and showing everyone their secret handshakes and their secret maneuvers and that sort of thing. And and he's brought to light the fact that Hollywood is controlling the masses by entertaining them through visual medium, like television and movies and things like that, making people happy and laugh and feel good about themselves while they're being distracted from the real issues that are happening around the world. And he's blown the lid off that. Yeah.
A bit of a George Orwell 1984 aesthetic, sort of. I see what you mean. I see what you're getting at there. He did that. He actually did that thing on Jimmy Kimmel, didn't he? With the tongue.
He did it live, and Jimmy Kimmel was shocked because he was giving away all the secret signals and stuff like that. The special tongue face mask thing, which for people that aren't in the know, that's the sign of the Illuminati. That's their secret handshake. It's not actually a handshake. It's like a stick your tongue out thing. Yeah, that's what throws people off.
I always thought it was the eye.
No, well, it's wrong eye.
Is it? Wrong eye.
And it's tongue and an eye. I think that's I only know half the story. Yeah, so I think he's going to meet a tragic end, but he's just going to disappear. And they're just going to knock him off, and he'll just be no more. Yeah.
Okay, not on the set of a certain movie or anything like that. He's just going to go. He's
just going to disappear. Yep. Fucking some guys will turn up in a van, throw him in the back, and it'll just be like gone.
Well, that's
and then they might find his body somewhere. They'll find his body floating in a swimming pool with heaps of dead hookers with a heroin syringe in his arm.
Oh, there you go. Well, that makes more sense.
So it's a setup. Yeah,
that makes more sense. So, okay, so Jim's gone as well. So we've got two comedic geniuses out there, Rob Schneider and Jim Carrey. They're gone, leaving a big hole in comedy, actually. So
yeah, that's it. Well, that's it. That's the end of it now.
It's not that big a hole.
Real comedians.
You can do it. So, all right, fair enough. So Jim's gone. He's, I guess there's no sequel to The Mask. So
no. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't mind The Mask. I thought The Mask was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not convinced? Fair enough. Okay.
No.
All right. Well, my next one is again. I think I can shock you pretty much with the rest of mine as well. My next one is Kris Jenner. Do you know who Kris Jenner is?
Kris Jenner. She's the mum of the Kardashians. Is that right?
That's the one. Yes, very good. Yeah. She's the mum of the Kardashians, and
is she a man?
No, that's her ex-husband come wife thing, whatever. I don't know.
He looks a bit masculine, that's all. Yeah, anyway, okay.
Yeah, you get in trouble nowadays, dead naming people and all that sort of stuff. But she was married to a decathlete. I'll just say that at one stage. And that decathlete is no longer. So, yes. But
no longer a man.
Yes. So, anyway, Kris Jenner...
I'm just getting a bit sidetracked here. So he's had a chopper cockophony, hasn't he?
I don't know if he's had bottom surgery. I don't know.
Or is he just wearing dresses and shit?
Well, I don't know the extent to which he's committed to the full act. So I don't know if he's had bottom surgery or what. No coming back from that, I guess, if he has. But
no. I mean, if you're going to do it, commit properly. Don't fuck around, people.
Oh, look, he's old enough that he can do what he wants to. So, he's an adult, or he was an adult, or she is an adult. Yeah, it's hard to talk in the, past tense.
And I don't understand how the whole fucking thing works.
It just doesn't. It doesn't. So, anyway, so Kris Jenner is the mum of the Kardashians, and she is also a publicity whore, just like her kids, and has pushed her kids into the limelight from forever. So, but she's getting on a bit, and she always likes to compete with her girls. So I'm thinking she wants to lose a few pounds, and she goes on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she goes on. She goes on Ozempic. So you know what Ozempic is?
No.
So Ozempic is it was originally a diabetes medicine. And what they found was it was a fantastic suppressant for appetite and, impulsive eating, impulsive drinking and things like that. And it helped you lose weight. So it's a great weight loss medicine.
Yep.
So anyway.
So it's a gateway drug to anorexia.
Well, sort of. Yeah, sort of. So I guess there's a few more steps involved, but yeah, there you go. That's a gateway drug to something. So, but anyway, she goes on Ozempic. She loses all this weight, but because she's so well known, everybody sees that she's on Ozempic and they hear that she's on Ozempic, and it's pretty big already, but it gets even bigger again. And everybody, and there's a lot of overweight people in the States. There's a fair few overweight people here in Australia, to be honest, as well. But there's there's a large percentage of the population that probably need to shed a few kilos or pounds if you're in America. And what happens is they all start going on Ozempic. But all the fast food restaurants like KFC, McDonald's, all the Walmarts, all these places where people get their snack foods and all that sort of stuff, the alcohol places where these people are not impulsively drinking and eating like they used to, and they're taking billions of dollars out of the coffers of fast food industry and things like that, which is a multiple $billion industry. So they're not happy with that. So what they do is they lace her Ozempic with fentanyl, and she dies. So and they blame it on Ozempic, and then Ozempic's taken off the market, and everyone goes back to being fat pigs.
Yep, perfect.
Done. That's it.
Business as usual.
Business as usual. She's the scapegoat. She dies, and Ozempic's taken off the market, and everyone goes back to eating high cholesterol, fatty, fried foods. So.
Yep.
Just like they want to.
So these fast food restaurants, to coax their customers back, they're going to be doing some ripping deals, aren't they? They're going to be like 4XL upsizes for the price of a double XL upsize and that type of thing. Buy a chicken wing, get 3 for free type of deal.
You got me interested. So
getting the punters back in there to fatten them back up.
Oh, well.
Good old American.
My mouth's watering. Type. My mouth's watering. Where do I sign up?
Mm.
So. You've got me. So we don't have the plethora of options that the Americans have in terms of In-N-Out Burger and White Castle and what's the other one that I used to have, Jack in the Box and all that sort of stuff when I was over there. We only have their version of Burger King, which is what is it here? What's the
Hungry Jacks.
McDonald's and KFC. So a bit easier for us to just get back on the. Well, it's a bit easier for them actually. They've got it on every corner. But yeah, so that's what I think happens. The fast food industry decides to put a hit on it, and they blame it on Ozempic.
Yeah. Well, Kardashian. That's not going to be a real issue, is it?
I don't think the world's going to miss her.
No,
I won't. I don't watch the Kardashians, so it's all good.
Is that still a thing?
Well,
their show.
Well, I don't know. I've never watched them. I think my wife might have watched it. But...
I've never watched it either. I can't believe it even was a fucking show to start with.
Bruce, or what's Bruce going by nowadays? What's his female name? I don't want to dead name Bruce or anything like that. Get myself in trouble for dead naming. But he can step in and be the mum. He's still a Jenner.
Yeah, the surrogate mother. Yeah,
all good.
Yeah,
can't be the dad anymore, can he?
I don't believe
he's
so.
At the bottom surgery, especially.
All right.
Sorry. We're done. All right. All right, bud. What's your next one? Oh, you haven't?
I haven't got another
okay.
one.
Oh, that's cool. I got one more.
Yeah, I only did half me. Did half me homework.
Just for anyone listening, just so so I can bail Dave out here. This is a redo of a show we did before, and the first show that we did of this, Dave nailed it. He did all his homework, and I didn't do any. I did hardly any. So I was so crap that we had to redo our show, and Dave's pulled his weight again with his picks, and I just so happened to have a little bit extra time this time to be able to do mine. So do you want to hear my fifth one? I did do a fifth one. You don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, I want to hear your fifth one because you've just kind of thrown me under the bus.
I was telling everyone you did the one. You did one for the podcast.
Yeah, I know. But then tonight I'm totally unprepared. I thought we were doing something different. And you go, no, we're doing all that other shit again. I'm like, fuck, I can't even find my notes.
And the listeners they're not going to hear your gold. It was absolute podcast gold. Unfortunately, that's lost to the never. So
that's gone. Yeah. It was like 2.5% better.
You know what? Well, we're going to have to get a Patreon where we can release all this stuff and the video behind a paywall, so no one will actually ever see it. But we can release it at least. So
yeah.
So my fifth one.
Yeah, we'll pay you for subscription. Fuck, I always fuck.
How many
cut that bit out.
How many beers yet? Wait on.
None.
I'll just have another fireball. Canadian whiskey. I just love it. Anyway, my fifth. Jesus, I've had too many as well. Fifth nomination for our Deadpool is Bert Kreischer. Do you know who Bert Kreischer is?
I got no idea who the fuck Bert Kreischer is.
So
Bert
he's a
Kreischer.
Comedian.
Is that even a real name?
No, it's a real name. It's debatable whether or not he's a real comedian. He's made a lot of money, don't get me wrong. So he's more of a comedian than I am, I guess. So that's fine. That's not hard. But he's very famous for doing a certain act. He does this act where he talks about being in Russia with a bunch of sort of like Russian mafia guys and things like that.
I know this guy. He's a great big fat dude. He never wears a shirt when he's on stage.
Yeah, he always talks about the machine. He's the machine. It's the machine. So he's been doing.
Yeah, that's a great story. I wonder if that's a real story. It sounds too good to be true, but I don't think you can make that up. Well, even if it's
true, he's been doing it forever though. Like, get a new run. Get a new line. Get a new story for fuck's sake.
Or does he keep repeating the same?
He does
material?
The machine all the time. Every show, I think he does the machine.
Yeah, it is a fucking good story. If anybody hasn't heard it, you should look him up. Bert Wonderstone. The Machine.
That's a whole
what was his name?
Different movie. That's Steve Carell.
What's his fucking name?
Bert Kreischer. Bert Wonderstone.
Bert Kreischer, if that is even his real name. The Machine. Check it out.
Dear.
It's pretty
Honestly,
fucking
Bert
funny.
Wonderstone and Bert Kreischer on stage together. That'd be pretty good. Magic and comedy.
Wrestle in oil. They should wrestle in oil. He should be a wrestler. He could be. He might
he's
be.
built like a fire hydrant. Seriously. He's just straight down and big belly at the front. There was actually, I saw him on God, what was it? It was YouTube or something like that, and he was hanging out the side of a car in a set of budgie smugglers on skates and
skating up the road.
He was being dragged along by a car, half in and out of a car on roller skates in a pair of budgie smugglers.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. That should be a new Olympic sport. That's almost as good as car wrestling or whatever the other thing was we did. Car jitsu.
Here's the thing. I find him as
roller car derby.
I find him as funny as a fart in an elevator. Seriously, I don't see the appeal. And he's a friend of Joe Rogan's, and he's been on their show a lot. I just don't find him funny, but who am I? Anyway, doesn't really matter. But
but he tells a good story. I think that goes a long way. I mean, who else has a story about the Russian mafia and going to Russia on a school camp and hooking up with these crazy blokes?
Yeah, it's a good story.
He fucking robs. Anyway, I'm going to spoil his bit.
No, you can't spoil his bit. Shit. Everyone in the world's heard it. Everybody. He says it every time he does a performance.
He's got one good story.
And he can't keep his shirt on.
He's like that bloke you see at a barbecue every 10 years, and he's like, hey, did I ever tell you the fucking machine story? And you go, fuck. Every time I see you can't, tell the machine story. And there's always some drunk idiot standing there acting surprised, and then when he walks off, he goes, he fucking tells that story every time.
It's Uncle Colin. Uncle Wayne.
He's that cunt.
Don't invite Uncle Wayne. He's going to tell the machine story again. All right. So anyway, do you want to hit?
Yeah. All right. How's he fucking died? So, or have you got some other material on it? Sorry.
So what I think's going to happen is the Russian mafia are tired of him telling the story.
Because it makes them look like fucking stooges.
Yep. So they're going to come to one of his performances. Yep. And he's not as young as Springtime anymore either, like when the story actually happens. So what they're going to do is after the performance, they're going to get all chummy with him. They're going to go out the back and go, you got to come out with us. We're going to replicate that story. We want to see the machine in action. So the way I see it happening is one of two ways. They take him out and they make him pretty much, like I said, replicate the story, and he dies of alcohol poisoning. Or he doesn't die and they just kill him because they're sick of hearing the story.
That seems a little bit more plausible. They sit him down and they go, tell us the machine story. And they're not laughing.
Well, they want him to replicate the machine story. They want him to drink, and they want him to do everything he did then. He's not the man he used to be. He's not he's an oldie man now. So I don't think his body could probably take everything he put it through in that story. And if by chance he did, I think they make sure that it looks like he didn't, and they pretty much Jim Carrey him.
They throw him from a train.
and he's found with a shirt off.
Yeah, no shirt. Yep. Well, I don't think he has shirts, does he? No, he takes them off. I don't know. Is it that his bit?
He spends most of his time on stage shirtless. And
he's not a very good fucking looking specimen either.
No.
Not at all.
If you're The Rock,
I think we should bring back fat shaming, to be honest.
Yes. I think we're going to have a little bit of that in some of our future episodes, actually. So, and Isaac Butterfield, if you're out there, you definitely won't be probably listening to us. But dude, you're doing God's work, fat shaming everybody out there. So, do you ever watch The Butts Man, Isaac Butterfield?
Yeah,
he's sensational. So, but yeah. So anyway, that's Bert Kreischer. So that's it, guys. That's it. Yeah. That's our picks for the Deadpool for 2024. And if we actually have any of those people die, then I'll be very surprised for starters.
If they die in the way that we've predicted, everyone gets a prize.
Everybody. Absolutely everybody. 7.5 billion people will get a prize. Don't hold me to that. So that's about it. That's the Deadpool, mate. I don't think there's much else to actually go on from there. You got nothing else that you want to add?
No. I actually thought it was people we were hoping might.
We can do that. We can do that episode, but I think
not just this person might. Yeah, anyway, because Greta Thunberg, fuck as she does my head in, and that flat Earth fuckwit. Anyway,
you were very nice when you were talking about Greta. You didn't say she's a cunt once. So, I was quite surprised. You were very reserved.
Yeah. Oh, she's young.
She's 21. She's an adult.
Yeah. She's a fucking.
Yeah, exactly. You realise I think it's either her mum or her dad are in the theatre.
I think one of them's a lawyer.
I think one's a lawyer. So she comes from a pretty privileged background, and she was pretty theatrical when she made a name for herself with the "How dare you" speech.
Yeah.
So
no, she's a cunt. I hope she gets struck by lightning in a tree in a flood.
No. We think she may get struck by lightning.
Oh yeah. That might happen.
Struck by lightning. We can do that on another episode. Paywall, mate. Paywall. Anyway, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for our Deadpool episode. It's just a little bit of fun. We wanted to get done nice and quickly before the rest of the year. Doing a Deadpool episode in the middle of July.
Before it's December.
Yeah, it was probably not a great idea. So we thought we'd get it out as quick as we can. It's we try to make it have a bit of fun with it. We're like we said, we are not comedians, and we just want to have a bit of. That's obviously very apparent, but we're just having a bit of fun together. And if anything we say, you have a little chuckle.
If you're offended by it, go and fuck yourself.
Yes. Well, that's the other end of the spectrum as well. So, yes, I endorse those sentiments as well. So, and we must make sure that we liquor up even more so for next episode. So definitely. All right. Look, don't forget to send in your problems for Dave to address right here on the show. Remember, it's gomelarmy@gmail.com, and just put Dear Dave in the subject line. We haven't had any as yet. I'm hoping that once we start to promote the podcast a bit more and do some more episodes, we'll get some people sending in some problems for you to address.
It can be anything.
Yes.
Relationship stuff. Like, I know a lot about that type of shit. Fixing things. Yep.
Yeah. You're the man. You're just the oracle. So, all right. Anyway, that's it for another week. Remember, subscribe or follow on your favorite podcatcher. We're available at Podchaser and Good Pods. Give us a 5-star review if you can. Tell us we're crap in the comments if you want to, but if you can give us a 5-star review at least, that'd be nice. That's about it for this week. Say goodbye to the listeners, Dave.
Goodbye, listeners. Don't break rule 1.
That's the one. And it's bye from me. And until next time, get off my lawn, and we'll chat at you again next episode.